Hey friends! Welcome back to my channel, Sassy Ranita Crafts. My name is Abby, and today's project is going to be all about wood using a technique to do wood burning. So if you don't have a laser and you've been wanting to work with wood, you are going to enjoy this project. We are going to be using the line of products by the brand Scorch Marker. For this project, we're going to be using Scorch paint and the finishing oil. I pull out my Cricut machine to cut out the stencil for this project. So you can head over to Design Space and find a fun project that you want to use or design. I'm choosing this design right here because I will be displaying this in my kitchen. We are going to start first by measuring the area where we will be applying the design. I'm going to make this design about 6.5 inches in tall and in length about 5 inches. But remember that this will be determined by the design that you're choosing and the size of your wood. Now this one is by Craft Express, but you can pick any wood out of the store. Just make sure that it's not a treated wood, or if it is, you're going to have to buff it to remove all that shine. So I'm sizing it up here in Design Space. You can change the colors if you need to, if you'd like, and then we're going to head and cut it. Now, I always recommend that before you do anything with your project that you save it just in case Design Space closes up on you or something goes wrong, you know that your design and your measurements are saved. We're going to be using for this project Smart Permanent Vinyl. You can use any vinyl that you have at home. Just make sure you're sticking with vinyl because I found out that this sticks better than using stencil material. So we're going to load this up in our machine and we're going to let the machine do its magic cutting it. Once we're done cutting, then we're ready to start weeding the material. To weed the material, you want to remove the inside. Leave the square, the white square, you're removing all the parts that you would normally stick on your material. Okay, this is the best way to describe it. I was looking back to my screen to make sure I was removing the right pieces. Once you're done weeding, then you need to use a transfer tape to be able to transfer your material over to your wood surface. Make sure to remove any bubbles because this will affect when you're transferring over, the material can wrinkle. Next, remove the backing paper, and while you're doing this, I suggest that you use your scraper and scrape on the back or rub it on the back to make sure that all those small pieces are actually sticking to your transfer tape. Now we're ready for the exciting part. We're going to be using the Scorch paint, a rubber brush, and we are also going to be using a mesh sandpaper kit. And all these products, you can find them at Scorch Marker. I will be leaving the links on the description below so you are ready with all the products that you will need for this project. Now I'm going to be using the sandpaper kit, starting with the low grit to sand all the area where I will be applying my design. This will ensure that the vinyl sticks and that the product, the Scorch paint that we will be using, also adheres to the wood. Once you are done sanding, then we're ready for the fun part. We are ready to stick the vinyl, but before that, make sure that you remove all the excess and then stick your vinyl onto it. Make sure you start with one direction first so that it doesn't wrinkle and ruins your design. Use your scraper tool to adhere it and remove the plastic or the transfer tape smoothly so you are not ripping or removing any of those tiny pieces. Now we're ready to apply the Scorch paint. Shake it well, and even using your brush, you can stir it a little bit until it becomes a liquid form. Make sure to apply even coats, and little bit goes long way, so don't add too much because it will affect the way that your design turns out after we add that heat. Any excess, you can put it back inside the little container and you have so much more to use for more projects. Then make sure to remove the vinyl, every single little piece, and use a paper towel to remove any excess. You can use it more than once. You can tap it 2 or 3 times to make sure that you have an even coat, and then we are ready for the final part of this project. I'm going to be using the scorch gun at the lowest level or lowest heat, and you can use any one that you have, but this one works perfectly. Start applying the heat evenly at one direction, and you will see how it starts turning this beautiful rich black color. Look how gorgeous this turned out. It is super fun, easy, and affordable, and all the links are down below in the description. I hope you enjoyed this project, and if you did, leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe and follow. Add the finishing touch to this using the finishing oil. This oil is an organic oil. It smells so good, and it gives it the perfect shine while protecting your wood. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you back in the next one.